Thanks, Dakota. It's 6:16 on this Monday morning, and as he has done basically for the past several months leading up to Election Day, Mercyhurst University senior political analyst Dr. Joe Morris is live with us in studio. Thanks once again for joining us this morning.
Sure.
All right, let's talk about the weekend that was as far as the campaign goes. 8 days away from Election Day. So the candidates really right now trying to kind of fine-tune their closing message to America. We saw Donald Trump rallying voters at Madison Square Garden over the weekend, and some of the comments that were made on stage by other folks are kind of unfortunately, maybe for the Trump camp, kind of shaping that closing message, it seems.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the most unfortunate closing messages, not only for Donald Trump, but also for Kamala Harris. They've been really dark.
Okay.
We saw a really dark message being communicated at Donald Trump's rally. Essentially an attack on immigrants, an attack on Democrats, people he's called enemies over the weekend. And then Kamala Harris telling us that this is going to be a potentially the end of democracy if Donald Trump is elected. We're setting ourselves up for a real contest here that I don't know how this ends up being positive for the United States.
And so obviously 8 days to go until the election, but a lot of folks are predicting maybe 9 days until we start the fight over the results of the election. And it seems like there might be something to that. Already Donald Trump seems to be setting the stage for if he loses, there must be some cheating going on.
Yeah, and this is part of his game plan. We saw this in 2020. And we've actually already seen more than 80 lawsuits across the United States related to the 2024 election. So we have polling that shows about 70% of Americans think that there's likely to be a contested election again. And about 1/5 of all Republicans believe that Donald Trump should contest the election if he loses.
Early voting surging all across the country, Democrats and Republicans. What do you make of that?
Yeah, this is the one bright spot, I think, in this election. We have people turning out from all walks of life, and even people who traditionally don't vote are turning out to vote in this election. So this could be a really high turnout election. As a matter of fact, I expect it to be incredibly high.
Saw J.D. Vance here over the weekend, Tim Walz making his way back. Are we going to see the big candidates, Harris or Trump, making their way back here over the next 8 days?
That's very much a possibility. It would be very surprising to me if we saw the two candidates come again, but that's something that we should be prepared for. So plan your traffic, plan your drive accordingly, because there's likely to be traffic. But this is an incredibly important county, and the candidates are, at the very least, going to be sending surrogates.
You have been certainly giving us some clarity through all of this potentially confusing election season. We appreciate it. One more visit from you next Monday before we start the voting on Tuesday. So thank you to Joe Morris. We're coming back with more Erie News Now Sunrise in a sec, Trace.